everyone. This is Tiffany. Welcome to my channel. I will be reading Genesis chapter 1 using the New King James Version. Let's begin. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So the evening and the morning were the first day. Then God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." Thus God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. So the evening and the morning were the second day. Then God said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together in one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, the herb that yields seed according to its kind, and the tree that yields fruit, whose seed is in itself according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. So the evening and the morning were the third day. Then God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth." And it was so. Then God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. God set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. So the evening and the morning were the fourth day. Then God said, "Let the waters abound with an abundance of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the face of the firmament of the heavens." So God created great sea creatures, and every living thing that moves, with which the water abounded, according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful, and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the birds multiply on the earth." So the evening and the morning were the fifth day. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature according to its kind, cattle, and creeping thing, and beast of the earth, each according to its kind." And it was so. And God made the beast of the earth according to its kind, cattle according to its kind, and everything that creeps on the earth according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him, male and female. He created them. Then God blessed them, and God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on earth. And God said, "See, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it shall be for food. Also, to every beast of the earth, to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth, in which there is life, I have given every herb for food." And it was so. Then God saw everything that he made, and indeed it was very good. So the evening and the morning were the sixth day. This begins the study portion of Genesis chapter 1. I will be using the Tyndale Life Application Study Bible. The simple statement that God created the heavens and the earth is one of the most challenging concepts confronting the modern mind. The vast galaxy we live in is spinning at the incredible speed of 490,000 miles per hour. But even at this breakneck speed, our galaxy still needs 200 million years to make one rotation. And there are over 1 billion other galaxies in the universe. It has been said that the number of stars in creation is equal to all the grains of all the sands on all the beaches of the world. Yet this complex sea of spinning stars functions with remarkable order and efficiency. To say that the universe just happened requires more faith than to believe that God is behind these amazing statistics. God truly did create a wonderful universe. God did not need to create the universe. He chose to create it. Why? God is love, and love is best expressed towards something or someone. So God created the world and people as an expression of his love. Don't reduce God's creation to merely scientific terms and forget that God created the universe because he loves us. The creation story teaches us much about God and ourselves. First, we learn about God. 1, he is creative. 2, as the creator, he is distinct from his creation. 3, he is eternal and in control of the world. Second, we learn about ourselves. 1, since God chose to create us, we are valuable in his eyes. 2, we are given a place above the animals. Did God create the world? If so, just how did he do it? This is still a subject of great debate. Some say that with a sudden explosion, the universe appeared. Others say God got it all started, and the rest evolved over billions of years. Almost every ancient religion has its own story to explain how the world came to be. And almost every scientist has an opinion on the origin of the universe. But only the Bible shows the supreme God creating the earth out of his own love, out of his great love, and giving all people a special place in it. We will never know all the answers to how God created the world, but the Bible tells us that God did create it. That fact alone, gives worth and dignity to all people. Who created God? To ask that question, we must assume there was another creator before God. At some time, however, we are forced to stop asking that question and realize that there had to be something that has always existed. God is that infinite being who has always been and who was created by no one. This is difficult to understand because finite minds cannot comprehend the infinite. For example, we can try to think of the highest number, but we cannot do it. Likewise, we must not limit the infinite God by our finite understanding. The image of the Spirit of God moving over the waters is similar to a bird caring for and protecting its young. See Deuteronomy 32 and 11 and 12, Isaiah 31 and 5. God's Spirit was actively involved in the creation of the world. See Job 33 and 4. Also Psalm 104, verse 30. How long did it take God to create the world? There are two basic views about the days of creation. One view is that each day was a literal 24-hour period. Another view, number two, each day represents an indefinite period of time, even millions of years. The Bible does not say which theory is true. The real question, however, is not how long God took, but how He did it. God created the world in an orderly fashion. He did not make plants before light. He created men and women as unique beings capable of communication with Him. No other part of creation can claim that remarkable privilege. The important point is not how long it took God to create the world, but that He created it just the way He wanted it. God saw that His work was good, and He was pleased. People sometimes feel guilty for having a good time or for feeling good about an accomplishment. This need not be the case. Just as God was pleased with His work, we can be pleased with ours. However, we cannot be pleased with our work if God would not be pleased with it. What are you doing that pleases both you and God? Why does God use the plural form, let us make man in our image? One view says this is a reference to the Trinity, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost. Another view is that the plural word is used to denote majesty. Kings traditionally use the plural form in speaking of themselves. In what ways are we made in God's image? God obviously did not create us exactly like Himself, especially in a physical sense. Instead, we are reflections of God's glory. God is sinless, eternal, and unlimited. Although we are given the potential to be sinless and eternal, we are also given the choice to fall short. We will never be totally like God because He is our supreme creator. Our best hope is to reflect His character in our love, patience, forgiveness, kindness, and faithfulness. Knowing that we are made in God's image and thus share many of His characteristics provides a solid basis for self-worth. Human worth is not defined by possessions, achievements, physical attractiveness, or public acclaim. Instead, it comes from being made in God's image. Because we are like God, we can feel positive about ourselves. Knowing that you are a person of infinite worth gives you the freedom to love God, know Him personally, and make a valuable contribution to those around you. God made man and woman in His image. Neither man nor woman is made more in the image of God than the other. From the beginning, the Bible places both man and woman at the pinnacle of creation. Neither sex is exalted and neither is depreciated. To have dominion over something is to have absolute authority and control over it. God has ultimate dominion over the earth, and He exercises His authority with loving care. When God delegated some of His authority to the human race, He expected us to take responsibility for the environment and the other creatures that inhabit our planet. We must not be careless as we fulfill His charge. Like their Creator, we should care for the earth responsibly and lovingly. God was pleased with all He created, for He saw that it was very good. You are part of God's creation, and He is pleased with how He made you. If at times you feel worthless or of little value, remember that God made you for a good reason. You are valuable to Him. That concludes the reading of Genesis chapter 1, both the Bible scriptures and verses, and the study. Thank you for listening.